I'm Rowan, this is MR Triton, and on today's episode we're installing a PSR ambush bar. Let's get stuck into it. So you can see here exactly why we've needed to replace this bull bar. After I struck the Kangaroo, all the mounting brackets were bent out of shape, the bolts were stretched and therefore don't retain the torque. So this is being held on by like a quarter, if not less, of the bolts that it's supposed to be held on by. These lights are going in the bin, this bar's coming off, number plate's off, winch is going in the bin because that doesn't work anymore. And then on with the new bar. So what we'll do is we'll do a little disassembly of the ARB bar, sell that for scrap, and then we'll get stuck into the new bar.
Alright, that bolt's out. Oh, okay.
Alright, so we've got it now.
Yeah.
Alright.
That's fine.
So the old bar is off, and now we're just removing the mounting brackets here for the ARB. We've taken off the top bumper as well. So the step from here, remove this, then we need to cut 12 centimeters or 11.8 centimeters of that bumper off. And from there we start mounting the mounting brackets for the new bull bar. So bull bar installation is on hold. What we've found is that this front bumper that mounts here, basically the brackets for the ARB bar or other bull bars generally like clamp around this and hold onto the chassis. This is torn off, probably from previous winches, corrugation, sitting Kangaroo, most of the corrugations at metal fatigue, and it's torn through here. So that's a chassis repair. Unfortunately, I could probably weld that myself, but as to how long that'd hold, as to how strong that'd be, as to how good of a welder I am, we'd find out probably the hard way. So I've gotten in contact with the bloke who's welded up my rear bar, my tub chop, and we'll see what he comes back with probably Monday when he gets back to me. Luckily I got the day off, so bull bar installation is on hold for now. So we're back. It's been a week. What we did was took the Triton to Swallow Fabrication, and he has kindly re-welded this front bumper back onto the front of the chassis. So what we do now is we're going to cut this front bumper in the way that it needs to be cut in order to facilitate the brackets for the new bull bar. We've also got some holes to drill in the front end here. What we'll do from there is install the front mounting brackets for the bull bar and have a look at the next step when we get there. So we're just lining up the rear bracket first. The instructions say to do the front bracket, this one here. Oh. But we've got to work out where the holes go. So we're going to put in this rear bracket first. So we're at a point now where we've put our left side bracket on. We've only got one bolt here. We're going to sit these on with the adjustable bolt to work out where the bull bar needs to sit. I've also put on these bracket supports. So we've done the instructions slightly backwards. It says to put this on first and then this. I prefer to do it this way. Only concern is once we align where the bull bar is supposed to go, we may have a little bit of play here and we may need to fill it with some kind of metal spacer. So anyway, I'm going to put on the right side bull bar mounting bracket, and then we're going to lift up the bull bar and see if we can align where the bull bar sits on these brackets, and then we'll tighten up the center one, drill in the holes on the outer line. So they've got a little bit of play in them on the side. So we're going to align where the bull bar sits in relation to these mounting brackets, make it look fairly central, and then tighten these right off. So here's how we're looking. Unfortunately, because I had the ARB Summit bar on, I've previously drilled some holes within this front crush plate, whatever you call it. So essentially we had to enlarge some of those holes. Unfortunately, there's no way around it except for the weld, and then we'd have slag on the inside of the tube and makes a mess. But these will be strong enough. Initially we thought we didn't have one of these, but we do luckily, so that'll be helpful to know what bolts go where. So because you've taken off the top of your front bumper, this little bracket that comes with the bar, if the instructions were a little more clear, we would have put that on earlier. But the bar installation and bracket installation instructions are in a different box to some other thing, and you open things as you start doing them. It would be nice if they just had like one thick brochure of all your instructions in one piece. Anyway, let's put it in the front grille. I'm going to replace this at some point with something else. So a quick recap as to where we're at with this installation, because I rushed through the last few steps. We've cut this front crush bar here on the front, crush plate, whatever you want to call it. We've drilled our holes, we've Loctited the brackets, they're all installed. We've got these little other brackets here that support the outer side or outer cheek of the bull bar. So it's all most of the way there. We just got to do the little accessories. Now what I've done off camera was I've installed the fair lead and the number plate holder. That comes together really, really tidy, like in a tidier way than what the ARB one does from what I can recall. Like that to me just sits really nicely. And we've got a few other little bits and bobs to do. I currently don't have any front indicators, which is concerning, so I've got to get that done. In addition, we've got the daytime running lights that I've got to get done too, so I'll show you some of that in a moment. The beautiful thing about this bar is that you can still reach up and around and work on it, whereas the ARB Summit bar had these cheeks on it and that sort of stuff. So this here, we've got some blanking plates to support and just cover up and make it more protective, less sharp for pedestrians. So we've got to bolt those on as well. A little bit of wiring on the other side that we need to relocate. We've got a nice big thick bash plate up the front there too that we need to install. And aside from that, just a few little accessories. So stand by, sit down, have a watch, and let's get this done. So 2 lots of indicators with wiring, and dropped it. Ambush bar, TSR sticker. So it's the best to last. Let's open one of these and see how it looks. Nuts and bolts. So I'll start by actually installing the indicator itself onto the bar, and then we'll mess around with the wiring. What we've got in here is our wiring looms for our spotlights, but also these as well. So that's my indicator light and such. So we're going to have a play with this connection and work out how best to get it to adapt and work with the new light system. So we've got the indicators installed now, hazards are working fine, indicators are working fine. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at installing the daytime running lights. I haven't utilised the wiring for the daytime running lights since I removed the front bumper and installed the ARB Summit bar, because the one I've got didn't have the running lights installed on the bar itself. So we're going to have a look at what that wiring looks like at the moment, see if we can work out what goes where, and then wire them up and look at installing them. They come with little brackets, Allen keys and such. I'm going to install this onto the bracket, into the slot that it belongs to, and then wire them up. I've already tested them, they do work with the wiring, just got to solder it up together properly. I think they're a bit too bright. So at this point, we're really close to being finished. The indicators are done, the DRLs are done, the outside brackets are done. What we need to do now is put on the front, like protective bash plate, whatever you want to call it, and we'll put on the OEM Mitsubishi bash plate as well. So what we have here is a much thicker plate that comes with the PSR bar. That's probably 3-4 mil, give or take. Much more likely to protect your vehicle from impact. This is the Triton's stock factory bash plate. But as a comparison, the front plate of the ARB Summit bar was a similar thickness to this. That's maybe 2 mil. Much lighter, much easier to dent and turn inside out. As always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video. Make sure you like, share and leave a subscription down below, and we'll see you in the next one.